Stacey Abrams has proven once again that it should be her sitting in the governor's mansion in Atlanta, not this idiot called Brian Kemp. She, Stacey Abrams' PAC wipes out $212 million in medical debt for 108,000 people, 5 states. A political organization led by Stacey Abrams has paid off medical debts owed by 108,000 people in Georgia, Arizona, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The Fair Fight Political Action Committee donated a total of $1.34 million to the nonprofit RIP Medical Debt to clear debts that carried a face value of $212 million, the Associated Press reported. The state where the most people received the most debt payoffs was Georgia, where 69,000 people had their medical debts paid. In Arizona, 20,000. 8,000 in Louisiana, followed by 2,000 in Mississippi and Alabama. Uh, Abrams founded Fair Fight Action after losing the 2018 election for governor of Georgia, which was caused by the then Secretary of State Brian Kemp purging many black people off the vote. Who turns out, a lot of them were still eligible to vote, but voter suppression never gets, never. Don't let something like fair and balanced elections get in the way of Republicans stealing an election. The group has since raised more than $100 million, while Fair Fight has thus far been known mostly for voting rights advocacy. It recently started working towards broadening health care throughout the country. She says, Stacey Abrams said, I know firsthand how medical costs and a broken healthcare system put families further and further in debt. Across the Sun Belt and in the South, this problem is exaggerated in states like Georgia, don't I know it, where failed leaders have callously refused to expand Medicaid even during the pandemic. Yeah, that's definitely true. Stacey Abrams, she has done both before the loss and after. She, most of what people are, know Stacey Abrams for, other than running for the governor's seat here in Georgia, was getting people to vote, registered to vote, I should say. And also I do like her lieutenant governor pick, Sarah Riggs Minko. She seems more and more willing to vote for Medicare for all or something like that. And she survived COVID. And she's a Christian, and I like that. Uh, this just proves that. Now, I read this before I saw Farron Cousins' video about it, and he's talking about how he's conflicted, as in she's done all this without being a governor. Just like how I mentioned how one time that Bernie Sanders did all that stuff for Amazon workers just as a senator. But I do think Stacey Abrams will do better if she's governor, and which, by the way, the election is next year, 2022. And Miss Abrams, if you run again, I will vote again for you. Unless you have a Bernie style opponent in the primaries, my money's gonna be on Abrams. In fact, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm actually going to look at the candidates who have declared that they are running for in the Democratic primary who are running next year. But the fact that this country has medical bills is atrocious. You go to other countries, go to Canada, go up north to Canada, even go down to Mexico. Practically a third world country, but even they go, no, no, senor. Yo no hablo medical bills. Chinga su madre. You go to Europe, they go, the fuck are medical bills, eh? Or is that in Australia? Even go to Australia, where I actually having an argument where oh, okay, there was a mass shooting in Australia, and after that, they confiscate or they banned a lot of guns. She's like it was orchestrated by the government, like, and they're trying to do the same to you, like the NRA funding politicians on both sides. No, they're not going to take away your gun. Anyway, but the fact is, they have universal health care over in Australia. They have universal health care in South Korea. They have in Japan. But while we do have medical bills, like it is good that this, like just imagine, and like just like I don't know if this applied to my mother because she's fully insured, by my father. But just I'm hoping that maybe it will help out because just imagine you got all these bills. Like, okay, obviously some people are like in the hundreds of thousands. But imagine just someone be like a couple 100,000. I mean, just like maybe just like $20,000. All that gone. Just imagine all that being gone. Just be like, and by the way, Stacey Abrams had all that covered and the America didn't collapse. Now, granted, some people say, well, that was free market. They raised the money and they paid it off themselves. Yeah, but my point is, it doesn't matter who pays for it. As long as it's paid for, why does it matter whether it's private enterprise or the government picks up the tab? But it turns out that the government picking up the tab is a little bit more effective. But people are just so held to their right wing ideology. It's less about whether it works. It's more about my principles, and I'm not willing to change my principles. Ugh, sinuses are acting up. So yeah, Stacey Abrams. Like I said, unless there's like a Bernie Wing style opponent in the primary, short of that, I voted for you once. I'm willing to do it again. You have. Oh, I've been mean to say this about Stacey Abrams. Not only does she go around the state getting people registered to vote, because she did that, she helped deliver the Senate for John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Granted, she also had some help from Donald Trump himself, discrediting the vote by mail thing, so therefore he's sort of shot himself in the foot. But it's all like half of the reason these two are in power is because half Donald Trump, but mostly Stacey Abrams. And so, yes, Queen. I say that facetiously, but seriously, Stacey Abrams should be preparing to run for re-election next year. Just like Bernie Sanders should be in his second term. Fuck you, Hillary. But as my mother always taught me growing up, you play the hand that you're dealt with. This is what we got. And Stacey Abrams she's not like Bernie. She's not old as shit. She wasn't, in the FDR administration. Bernie's old. He's never going to run again or he's never going to run for president again. The Senate, yes, he is running for the Senate in 2024. But Abrams is Stacey Abrams, or how young is she? Stacey Abrams. I mean, she doesn't look. She is 47. Ooh, Generation X. She's still a young woman. In my opinion, if you're under 50, you're a young woman. Just like when Bill Clinton ran and when he was 46, he was still young, a young man. When Nixon ran in 1960, he was a young man. In fact, even JFK himself said, the Republican nominee, of course, is a young man. But uh, like what JFK said about Nixon being like, yes, he's a young man, but his ideas are old as McKinley. Yeah, Brian Kemp is not a young man, and his ideas are, oh, he's younger than my mother. November 2nd, 1963. So he's a middle-aged man, but his ideas are the same as Reagan. His party is the party of the past. It's about time we completed the transforming the state blue by electing Stacey Abrams as governor. Again, short that whole Bernie thing I said, but Stacey Abrams should be the governor. So anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I got work in the morning, and then I'm gonna go to Atlanta Gladiators games. I enjoyed 2 victories lately. Let's hope third time's the charm and we get another victory, especially since I'm bringing my girlfriend. Goal zone seats. Stay awesome, stay progressive, support Stacey Abrams, and may the force be with you.